Ina the Mood Reader, and we have some special book mail. So guys, I'm so excited to share with you this package. A few weeks ago, Scholastic reached out to me to invite me to do a piece on this book, which is written by a Filipino author, which is very exciting, and it's a middle grade book. We're going to read this for the week, and I'll also be sharing you guys my thoughts on the book, and I'll bring you along with me throughout the journey. Let's unbox this package first. This is the book that we will be reading this week, and it's The Wing of the Locust by Joel Donato Ching Jacob or Jacob, I'm not sure. So yeah, as you can see here on the cover, this book is an Asian Book Award winner. And so throughout December, me and some other bloggers will be creating different posts. It can be in their blog or in their booktube or in their bookstagram, all about this book. I'll just be linking the tour schedule in the description box so you can follow along the Wing of the Locust book tour. So yeah, this is a fantasy novel and it was published this year, 2020. I don't have any idea yet what this book is about, but as you can see, it has this very beautiful cover even at the back. So it says here that Tuan escapes his mundane and mediocre existence when he is apprenticed to Muhen, a charming barangay wiseman. But as he delves deeper into the craft of a mambabarang and its applications in espionage, sabotage, and assassination, the young apprentice is overcome by conflicting emotions that cause him to question his new life. So as you have heard from the blurb here at the back, it seems like this book is really it would really touch on Filipino culture, Filipino mythology, and folklore. So it would be a very exciting adventure. So yeah, I'll be bringing you along with me. Please enjoy the next clips, and later at the end, we'll talk about my thoughts on the book. Again, thank you so much, Scholastic, and see you guys on the next clips. Hey! Hey, I just want to give a quick update on Wing of the Locust, on where I'm at right now, and my initial thoughts about the book. So, last night I was able to read from chapter 1 to chapter 3. So, here, I'll be starting chapter 4 soon, but before I do that, I would just like to give you my initial impression on the book. And as you can see, right now, I have already put in a lot of sticky flags in the book, and I actually use the pink one to remember like names, the orange one when I see like Filipino mythology or culture references, and I have a yellow one here for a quote that spoke to me, and a green part here as a plot point that I don't want to forget. So so my thoughts about this young adult book is that it is written very beautifully, like literary fiction, and it's also very Filipino on its like purest essence. I loved all the things that reference how life was like in the old Philippines, I guess, in like Philippine history, that you know we tend to forget. Me especially, personally, I tend to forget um because I was raised in the city, and most of this traditional Filipino activities I wasn't even aware of. I don't really know what it's like in the province. I only moved to the province now when I was when I'm an adult, and it's actually a city in a province. So it's not really like the vibe I'm getting from the book. And there's also hints of magic, or let's say yeah, I think the term I can use is like magic. And at this point, I'm at this like 20% of the book. I'm at the point where Tuan, our main character, is already an apprentice of the mambabarang, which is like in the blurb of this book. And he is someone who never belonged, who felt like he never belonged. He was bullied for the way he looks, and he is not like someone that was able to join in the like usual activities of the people in their barangay or their town. So it seems like he is finally finding a place where his place in society, where he can contribute, and he has been also taken from his family now because they're in one of like the lowest classes in society. They didn't have like privileges. They are basically treated as slaves. They have nothing to their name, and so he is bought by the mambabarang, and the mambabarang will now teach him how he works. So one of the last scenes before I stopped reading was them assisting at the birth, and they utilize really weird witchy things to heal and help people. Like they use frogs, their saliva of these certain animals, insects, and all that icky things. There's really icky descriptions here, but I'm not put off by it. So I know it's just gonna be part of the story, and I'm excited to where this would go through. I like the banter, the discussions between Tuan and the mambabarang. I also like all the glimpses of Filipino culture here. It is very rich, from the names to like the actual things that happen. It's like it's a really immersive world what Mr. Joel Donato Ching Jacob is doing here, and I like being inside this world. I'm so excited to know what else would happen to Tuan and where this story would go, because according to what's here at the back, I'm gonna see some espionage, sabotage, and assassination. And it's very exciting to see again what the Philippines was like. Most of these things that he is referencing to, as I'm guessing, what life was like before the Spaniards like colonized the country, and it's our pure identity, one that we don't see today anymore, unfortunately. And it's both good and bad to look back at it, to everything that we've lost. But yeah, it's nice to look back on the young Philippines and also see our lead character here in his coming of age journey and where this would go, and his road to like self-identity and loving himself. So yeah, I'll get back to you after I read, maybe until I reach the half point mark of the book, and then I'll also talk about my thoughts from chapters 4 until then. So see you later. Bye.
Yung puti niya, parang ganyan na ba talaga katapang yan?
Hey, it's ynathemoodreader, and today I finally have a new update for you guys, and it's that I finished, finally, Wing of the Locust by Gerald The Bookworm. I was supposed to finish this last weekend, but like the holiday shopping season got in the way. But at least I'm done now, and as you can see, I'm happy to report that I was able to what do you call this? I used the entirety of my yellow sticky tabs. I really did like a fine job of annotating this one. Let me just say that this book is a masterpiece. I understand why it was awarded by Scholastic as an Asian Book Award winner. I know I have said this a couple times already about some Filipino written books I have read in the past year, but this one is really unapologetically Filipino. And it's like common for us to forget that there was this Philippines before the Spanish came, before the Spaniards came and like influenced us with the Western culture. And this one brought me back to that time. It was the main reason why I have so many annotated pages here in the book is that I wanted to take note of the names that the author used and all the Filipino superstition, belief, folklore, and mythology that the author decided to include in the story. And for me, it was like a creative history lesson because really I've been out of school for so long now that I cannot really remember many parts of like Filipino folklore or mythology. And I remember when my sister was in school, she was the one who mentioned some names of mythological creatures that we have. For example, the Sigbin, which was mentioned also here in this book. And I had no idea that a term Sigbin even existed before. So it was really nice to encounter that through this book. And by the way, Wing of the Locust revolves around the story of Tuan. So from the start until the end of this book, we just follow Tuan's development. It was seen only through his eyes, how he see the environment, the lifestyle that they have in their town in comparison to other kingdoms, because at their community they are ruled by datus. As I have mentioned in like my earlier premise of what this book is about, Tuan discovered that he has like the blood of a mambabarang, and it's what he is destined to be. So after chapter 4, until I concluded this book at the 15th chapter, I got immersed in the world where Tuan was trying to understand the mechanics of being a mambabarang. And of course there were revelations that like make him second guess if it's really what he is meant to be. There's also the part of like a huge part of Tuan wanted to be accepted by his peers, his friends, and the fact that a mambabarang is something you know, that you can relate to dark magic, that people don't really understand how that works, and that can be confusing for him. But then again, you are what you are meant to be, and it's like one of the themes discussed here in this book. And in terms of the characters, I really loved exploring Tuan, Muhen, Lixi, and Gilas, and all of the other side characters in this book. Each have their own shining personalities, and they complement each other well. I really like the dynamic between like Lixi, Gilas, and Tuan. I also enjoyed how creepy of a mentor Muhen is. Like, like the character is really vague in like mentoring and teaching, and there's so many creepy crawly descriptions here in this book that it's really weird. And if you're like easily grossed out, mambabarangs work with insects just like our cover here, so it's something you'll see all over the book. And the writing style of the author is very descriptive and immersive. It's like you are really in that place in time, and I really enjoyed reading throughout the story. I liked his style. It was very smooth flowing. I didn't get bored in like discovering where the story would go. But again, my only concern is that it ended that way. I was like looking for an oomph, like something climactic and then being resolved, because I still have a few questions about the story, and it's making me wonder whether this one would be a series and if there would be a book after this, because I would definitely want to read that, because I still have a few questions after I read the last page. And one thing I also enjoyed about this book is that it came with a glossary. I will show you. So there's a glossary here because the author used a lot of Filipino words and old Filipino terms that we don't even use here in like the city nowadays. There's also many descriptions of like food and the plants and the insects mentioned here in the book, which is very educational for like other Asian readers who will get the chance to read this book. But as a Filipino, I really loved the representation here and how it also educated me about the things that I already forgot. I really enjoyed Wing of the Locust, and it's a nice read, I think, for middle grade, young adult, and adult levels. Everyone would like get some lessons learned from these pages. And I actually have a few favorite quotes I would want to share with you guys. So I'll be linking down my blog post once it's up so that you can see all the favorite quotes from the lines I annotated in Wing of the Locust. And right now, because I'm talking to you like minutes after I finished the book, my thoughts aren't like arranged and coherent at the moment, so I really suggest that you check out my blog post once like I keep my thoughts in order, once I've written everything down that I liked about this book. But yeah, I'm rating this one 5 stars, and I'm inviting everyone to take part on the blog tour. There are many other Filipino bookish content creators that will be rating, reviewing, and featuring this book on their bookish socials. I'll just be linking each of their hubs below because there are bookstagrammers, bloggers, and booktubers. I'll just be linking their sites down below and the dates when they will be posting so that you can check out their thoughts on Wing of the Locust. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed browsing Wing of the Locust with me, and see you on the next video. See you tomorrow. Bye!